Alright, hey there, viewers, fans, and subscribers, all the same, and welcome back to the next Transformers Community Podcast, respective of GameFAQs.com. Y'all already know the gene. My next clientele here from the Transformers community, once upon a time, now a pretty good football star in his own right, was formerly the second-gen leader of T.U.H, the Unknown Hope, one of the original members of the next-gen T.F.L, in the Forgotten Legion, and one of my former friends and vice commanders of Terrain Adaptive Combat Terrestrials, better known as T.U.H Spidey, Jamaz.
Yeah,
Jamaz, how you be, man?
I'm pretty good, man. How are you?
I've been doing alright. Just been back and forth here between PS3 and PS4, doing my writing thing and organizing what it is I can here and keeping some good structure here in the communities and whatnot. A good recent thing that had happened here, we'd recently opened up the online community Discord. Grimlock, Spawn, Sophilion Milfan 7, and myself. We all are the moderators for the community Discord, and so a lot of people that have Discord can now wholeheartedly keep in contact with each other on the go now.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's like a whole other in-depth side of the community. So now we got the PS3 chat with Yugal that started it off. We got the PS4 chat for everybody there that has the PSN app or the WhatsApp, whatever that is. And now we got the Discord.
That's awesome. Big step up.
Yeah. So you ready to head into the podcast?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, question 1. What inspired you to make a difference in the communities you were a part of?
What inspired me to make a difference was when I first got onto the game, I knew that I wasn't just going to be, playing the game just to play it. And I mean, in the beginning, that's all I wanted it for. I saw it. It was awesome. I love Transformers. But when I got into it more, started knowing more people, getting to know them as they got to know me, I just felt like it would be better off if I did, more for the community and not just play as if I'm just like some player. That's why I would make friends, talk to them. We would make little groups or squads rather, and just have a lot of fun, help out our other teammates. And when I would do that, they would do the same thing with their other friends too, and it just, I believe it expanded on, and more people were not as selfish. They wouldn't just say like the Energon Recharger, they wouldn't go for that. They'd be like, hey, it's right there, just went up, go get it. They would do that instead because I would pass that on. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person who's done that, but I know that I have made an impact on other people to where they did that as well.
Gotcha. Where they just go, they take the recharger on the go?
Well, yeah, they would take it, but like if they knew someone else needed it, they would say, hey, it's up, or, just whatever they could to like help somebody out, or like, hey, the ammo that was just gone, it just came back up, or, just anything in general to help out their teammates.
Okay. And the recharger goes a long way, because a lot of the time you always see people that just kind of just use it for selfish reasons. They never really kind of take it in order to make sure that the opponent doesn't get it, or you kind of make sure you drop the ball on that recharger right at the right moment in order to help your teammates out.
Oh yeah. People, they as soon as the match starts, they'll utilize it. They go straight for it. Whenever they get in a big fight, they just put that puppy on, and it's unfair. And I'll be honest, like, I'll be the first to admit that I've done it many times before, and I'm pretty sure a whole lot of people on the game have done it before. But if you feel better once you start helping other people out, because they do the same thing for you. Because once you become more friendly and you're more of just, you got like a, what is it called? sportsmanship. Like, you got good sportsmanship, and they tend to gravitate to you. You know, they want to be kind to you and help you out as you did previously. And it works a whole lot better. You have a better teamwork, better chemistry with your players and your partners in the game. It goes a whole lot more smoothly, especially when it's not just in games. You talk to them outside of the games, or like in lobbies, like how we've done many times, just chilling in the lobby and talking.
Yep.
It really helped out. We get better tactics and better strategies. You know, it's just a whole lot better to be just kind to someone instead of just, you know, being selfish and just trying to put yourself out there on the leaderboard.
It's a fair statement. Because in the end game, if you play it enough, you're going to grind the leaderboards anyway, so why not try and make some friends along the way?
Exactly. Why not just bring your friends up? I mean, you can still dominate, but you don't have to put like 6 or 7 points between you and another person. Make it close, but still be on top. I mean, either that or, you know, put the other person, you know, your friend above you. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but everybody on the game is competitive. 100%.
Yeah. And it was these types of games and lobbies that, in a sense, drove the inspiration.
Yeah, it drove the inspiration in me to, like, because, for example, when I would play and I wasn't as good, like, it definitely took me a while. Everything takes practice and everything. You know, you become better through experience. And when I was not as experienced, it was harder for me to be able to do things because everybody was selfish. Or, I mean, it's not really like selfish, like, haha, you know, I'm better than you. It's more like you're just trying to do everything you can to win. You're trying to rack up points and everything. It's like that default mindset that you're in, and I was in it too, but I wanted to change it and help people out. That way they would help me out, and it was better. You created teamwork. You created a good chemistry between you and other people, and it would work out in the end, and your team would end up winning in the end. And it helped because I would check like my wins and losses when I would look at like the leaderboards on Team Deathmatch, and it made me feel good seeing how far my like wins reached over and reached above and beyond my losses, and it just made me happy. And it also made me a whole lot happier when I knew it was because my friends helped me out and I helped them gain those wins too. Because, I mean, if you don't have any teamwork and if you're doing everything on your own, you have a bigger chance of losing games. Unless you're just naturally experienced or you've been on the game long enough to know, hey, this is what's going to happen. You know what to do next. You know, just play it out and see how it goes. But at the time, I wasn't experienced like that. So that's why I would gain friends. Not for my own personal interest, but I also wanted to just help them out too, because I'm more of a kind person, especially if you get to know me. I mean, everybody is kind when you get to know them, but obviously if you get off on the wrong foot with someone, they're not going to like you very much.
Ooh, oh yeah. Oh yeah, I've been on those side of the shoes many a time in the WFC journey.
Yeah.
But I know I get where you're coming from with that one. That mindset of pre-prediction where you kind of have an idea of what's going to happen depending upon the whole outline of people, how they play, what they go for, or if they travel together, then it's kind of going to be a buddy system, so they're always going to travel in a group. And so you want to travel in a group in order to be sure to counteract it. Otherwise, when they see you, you're pretty much already dead, unless you know how to get around that.
Exactly. Kind of like how the like clans later on, you know, if you would have a certain way you would do things, especially in clan battles. You would have these two guys go in this direction, and you would have one as a destroyer and one as a scientist, the scientist heal and everything, stuff like that. And it was good to gain friends because you could create that just because you're friends, not because you knew it worked. It's because you knew it worked, but you also enjoyed doing it as well, just because you knew it helped, you knew it would rack up points for your team, and you knew that like it was just what you enjoyed. But other people, they would do it because they just wanted to rack up points. Heck, I mean, if there was someone better, they would immediately replace them. But when you have friends, you don't want to replace them because you're not going to find that same chemistry.
Right. And heck, if you do in a good buddy system like that happens with friends, it gets easier and you start performing better because both of you guys get to talking and start playing more together. It's easier for you guys to bounce strategies off of each other.
Yeah,
And your playing styles can eventually complement each other.
exactly. I have so many friends that happened. Like me and Sideswipe Gunner one. We were like twins basically. Like we
Oh yeah.
we always could scout. We always were really good with the sniper. We were like so perfect together, and it was hard for anyone to come by us because we'd always, get headshots or end up getting him in two shots. Like he'd get the first shot, I get the second, or the other way around, vice versa. It was just having a good buddy system, and it didn't even have to be like two different classes. You could be the same class and still work, like two scientists or two destroyers, two titans, etc. It was just I've had many friends where that system worked, especially with me and Sideswipe Gunner. And I believe there have been others like A.B. Thomas and sometimes the Mad Killer dude. We did have a good buddy system, but we didn't always play all the time because I had things to do or he did too. Me and MP, we didn't have a buddy system to where we like were around each other the whole time, but we kind of had that system to where, like, for example, if I did something on the other side of the map, I'd tell him, hey, he's coming this way, and he would deal with that situation, or vice versa. Not like where me and SWG, we'd go at this one dude because we're next to each other or something like that. Like, I had different buddy systems, and they all worked out for the greater, and it was just great along the way. And it wasn't just, hey, let's get this done. It was fun. You had fun, had good chemistry between your friends. It was perfect, and that's why I love the game. Still do, and that's why I, probably loved it more than anyone else. I mean, I don't want to say I loved it more than anyone else, but at the same time, I did have a huge love for it. So it's kind of like in the middle, because some people, they played it because they're probably stressed or they needed like a stress reliever. I played it because I just absolutely loved the game, and I loved it because I had friends with good chemistry.
Fair enough. And chemistry builds good bridges.
Yes, it does.
Question 2. How has the online community affected you all around?
I feel like the online community, like, I believe the way it affected me all around was kind of like between really good and okay, because, I mean, not everybody per se is going to have like a perfect experience. You're not going to immediately make friends. You're obviously going to make either enemies, or people are going to dislike you, or like dislike the way you play, or the way you do things in certain matches or certain games, or just anything in general. You're not going to always find that best friend or just a friend in general. You're obviously going to have enemies. So I would say my experience was like the absolute best, but I took the bad situations like with a grain of salt. It wasn't too bad. It is really just a game, but people would take it too far and make it more than that. They would, ridicule you, make fun of you, and everything. And everybody in every game does that because it's just how people are in games. They're always gonna
Like
be
those that are
rude, or
competitive, but then there's also the over competitive.
yeah, like if as soon as you like are better than someone, they'll talk crap about you and say, "Hey, you only did this good because you used this." Like, for example, the Energon recharger, you used this the whole entire game. That's why you only got above me. And then it's just back and forth. And then you don't want to use it this game because you want to prove him wrong. And then he uses it, utilizes the holy heck out of it. And then you're like, you say the same thing, and he's like, "Well, I not really. I didn't really use it as much as you did." It's just it really gets irritating, but at the same time, the community was pretty decent. It wasn't as bad as like say maybe Call of Duty the Call of Duty community. I think that one was pretty awful because people would just scream out so much profanity. But in this one, there was a tad bit more maturity to it, and that's why I enjoyed it and played it more. Because I feel like one, people got the game more because it was cheaper than Call of Duty. That way, if once someone gets a cheaper game, they're probably not going to have enough money to get a microphone to talk. But at the same time, they can still like text or like send you messages. But
Right.
in general, like Call of Duty, there was more people would talk because it was an expensive game, and kids who buy expensive games, they probably have enough money to buy a mic. But in Fall of Cybertron, people who bought a mic, they only did it because they had other games.
Yeah, and so the convenience was there.
Yeah, it was only convenient that they had a mic. They didn't buy it specifically for the game. I did because it was like one of the only games I really enjoyed playing, and well, online and like against the community or with the community. That's the only reason why I got a mic. I didn't get it for any other games, to be honest. Besides, probably Little Big Planet 1 and 2. That was it.
Okay. I will say though, for the most part, on that notion, there have been a lot of Call of Duty players that did play Transformers that have played FFC and WFC.
Oh yeah,
Because I remember when I first met some of them on WFC, they got into it because the gameplay and how you're trying to either do snipes or how you ADS can be just as fast or just as sensitive as some of the early Call of Duty games.
yeah,
Also for the lobby
definitely different.
size. Lobby wise,
Def-
I think a lot of the FOC lobbies were spared in trying to have that Call of Duty vibe. WFC
yeah,
was not so lucky. Those turned into a lot of Call of Duty vibes, and there's a lot of people going all the way down the list of everything you could call somebody.
yeah. It was just so unnecessary, and I doubt it's changed. I'm pretty sure there's people like that today, or probably even worse, especially with being more offensive and just being, just completely unnecessary. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of kids nowadays, they'll like joke around about, calling someone autistic and something like that. And it's ridiculous because it's really offensive. And there are like actual people who have like autistic siblings. Like me, I have two autistic sisters. I know other autistic people, and it's not funny to call someone else like autistic or retarded. It's not funny at all. And I mean, I'm pretty sure if they ended up, having something like that, like instead of being who they are and they ended up being diagnosed with autism or, you know, or just you end up having Down syndrome, they wouldn't be laughing if someone was joking around about them. And it's completely awful because they don't really put themselves in another person's position. They just enjoy the position they're in and they take advantage of it and just take it for granted.
They
And
never
it's
think
awful.
about they never think about that situation if the shoe was on the other foot.
Exactly. Definitely they don't.
Um, Let me see here. Question 3, and feel free to use any past instances or experiences as we're going along also on any of these questions.
Alright.
What is your stance on hackers and commonplace cheaters?
Oh boy. Honestly, hackers, I don't understand why they feel the need to hack the game or put it, like, change it to their favor, because it doesn't really. I believe they have like this mindset to where they show their dominance. I guess they're like, I can hack the game, I can make it do whatever I want, therefore I can always win. But in my opinion, it's not. It doesn't make you look dominant. It just makes you look like you have to do this in order to win. Like, you can't win without it. And cheaters, like the greatest example of all, Nation of what was it? Nation of Destruction. NOD.
Nation of Domination. Yep, that was
Nation
not.
of Domination. That's what it was. All they did was cheat, and it was just ridiculous. And when you would kill them in their spots, boom, they know exactly what you're going to do next time. They would have someone else watch that spot for them, and then they'd kill you before you kill them. And they would end up winning the games because they cheated. And they only did it because they knew they were going to get a negative they were going to get negative comments about how they cheated, they can't win the game without it, and then they're going to say, blah, 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 you're just a bunch of babies, and that's what they've always done or have always said, at least in my experiences and experiences I've heard from other people. And honestly, I mean, I don't understand why they did it. I guess it's just to hear people whine and then make fun of them. Honestly, just no good intentions. I don't understand people like that. But my stance on cheaters and hackers, I think it's ridiculous. I don't think you should do it at all. Okay, I'm not gonna get political, but being a cheater and being a hacker is just ridiculous. I don't think it's definitely not necessary. I mean, I understand if you're in a private match, you can do that. That's your own choice. I mean, heck, you can do it for fun, but you're not gonna do it against each other. It's just to do it for fun, be weird and everything, and just to goof off. But if you're gonna do it in a public match, it affects other people's scores, how many kills or losses, how many kills or deaths they have, and wins or losses they have. It affects their scores publicly in the leaderboards, and a lot of people care about their stats. And it's just, they didn't care. They cared about their own stats, and they were selfish, which brings me back to, people being selfish and just using the energy on rechargers, because that's exactly what the people of NOD did. They just utilized that any chance they could, and it just wasn't fun. Whenever they came around, it wasn't fun. You would want to either leave the lobby or just, be really, really strategic and kill them in every way possible. Obviously, kill them in the game. And it's just, it's utterly ridiculous how much they did it, how they did it, and how they just thought it was so funny when people were upset about it. Because some people took the game seriously. I didn't. I just took it as fun. I took the clan matches seriously, the clan battle seriously, because I wanted wins. I wanted to do what's best for the team, and I mean, that's all I wanted.
Right.
But it was just a public match. I did care about my stats, especially when I made new accounts. When I had Jamaz64, I knew that was screwed over from the beginning because I was new. So that was a whole experience account. And then when I made Jamimaz, or Jamimaz, I really watched for my accuracy in the leaderboards. I wanted my accuracy to be really high up, so that it would show that I, am not a sucky shooter. I don't suck at aiming, and I cared about that. That's why I wouldn't take certain shots unless I knew I was going to hit those shots. And it just sucks when you play against these certain players. And I know I just keep talking about NOD because they're the perfect example, but it's not just them, it's other players that utilized it. And they thought it was fun too. And they would get on to you about complaining about it. They're like, hey, I'm just trying to have fun, leave me alone. And you explain yourself to them, and they're like, whatever, dude, it's just a game, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, it doesn't make it fun when you're just ruining everyone else's game. It's like, kind of like the Bill of Rights, I guess. Like, like the First Amendment, you have freedom of speech, but you shouldn't slander people, and you shouldn't, like, have so much speech that you're limiting other people's freedom, you know?
I got you. I get the mindset that the visualization of that. I get where you're coming from. Whereas, like, you have the right to do what you want, but you still have the right to do what you want to an extent, but you don't have the right to think it won't go unpunished.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you have all these freedoms, but you shouldn't, limit other people's freedom just because you feel like you deserve it the most.
Right.
And that's what people always did in the game. They always limited other people's fun for their own personal fun. So they would have more fun than you did. And it wasn't enjoyable. And it made me upset when it would happen to me. It made me upset when it would happen to other people. And it's ridiculous. That my stance on hackers and cheaters is it shouldn't be done, but it will be. And sometimes you just have to deal with it. Either deal with it or leave the match so you don't have to, or just do whatever you can to avoid it, or in fact stop it.
Gotcha.
That's what my stance would be on it.
I will say, though, for the most part, in Nod's defense to some extent, not full defense, I will say that when they came into the lobby, while it may not have been complete fun, for those that were in a competitive mindset when they were playing, that brief bit of a rush that they brought when it's like all of them dropped into a lobby, Gears, Decepticon, Sweet Tweet, Big Bear, all those guys when they came into the lobby, that they made it really super competitive all of a sudden, because it's just like you want to win at all costs against these guys.
They would give you a bigger reason to win, because if you lost, they would rub it in your face, and you don't want to be ridiculed.
Yes.
You want to win. You want to beat them. You want to overpower them, and they would definitely bring it on. I see where you're coming from, and I agree with you full on 100%. I felt like that too. I felt a rush when they would come in. I would, like, in the beginning, when I first saw them, I didn't know who they were, and then when I would play the games with them, I figured out who they were. And later on, when they would come into lobbies out of nowhere, my heart would drop, and I'm like, crap, it's them. But later on, when I got more experienced, gave it like a month or two, I was like, oh, it's just them. Definitely either going to leave or, honestly irritate them, because that's all they did. They would just irritate you, and if you would let them push you around, it wasn't fun for you, because that's what they did. They were basically bullies of Fall of Cybertron, and they were of War for Cybertron, and then they switched, and it just wasn't fun. So what I would do, I was just going to irritate them back. I wasn't going to let them push me around. It's kind of like the big bully in high school. You're not going to just let them keep pushing you around, because then you look like just some little kid who can't do anything for himself. That's why you push him back, and then they back down. They're like, oh crap, this kid's, he's not going to take it.
Yeah, he's no pushover.
He's freaking out. He's not freaking out. He's all like, no, he's coming at me now. I should probably leave him alone and go after some other kid that I think is weak. That's basically what they did. But honestly, they did stay for a fight. Like, if they knew they were getting challenged, they did take the challenge. And I'll give them that. But I still disagreed with how they
did
bring that, the reason why people felt the rush was because they know they were cheaters, and they knew that they would have to find a way to keep them from cheating. And I disliked that. But I did like the fact, in general, they did give you a rush. I just hated the way they did it.
Gotcha. That's where I think you got that one on the head. They brought it every single time they appeared. It's just the way they did it.
Yeah.
And the way that that's happened, it has led to the birth of a lot of particular individuals that, yeah, either just sign on board just to hunt Nod, or the Nod, or that's even give birth to the Nod Hunter.
Yeah. And some people who didn't like him, like, there was this one guy, I still don't know who he originally was, but he made an account called Gears Rapes Goats.
Oh, whoa, that's new.
Huh?
Gears rapes goats.
Yeah, that's what his account name was. And he would play, and he would always search for, the NOD group just to irritate Gears. And he would only, target him and try to kill him. And he did good, but he ended up getting killed so many times because Gears had his whole posse go after him. They would always target. But it was fun while it lasted. I just wish I knew who actually made the account, though.
You got me, but if I had to guess, it's probably the same dude that made that account. Gears 1984 sucks ass.
Yeah, probably. Oh, I forgot about that.
Yup. If I had to guess, it was probably Shin.
I forgot. I forgot about him.
For good reasons.
Yeah.
He's the dude that was fine until he got a mic.
Yeah, definitely. Couldn't stop running his mouth.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So for the most part, I guess your stance on it is that for the hackers and commonplace cheaters, it sounds like it's pretty concrete.
Yeah, definitely against it. Unless it's in a private match. That's fine, because there's no harm done. Unless you're, specifically trying to bully someone, and obviously that's not fine. But if you're doing it in a public match, people care about that. They care about their stats. They care about,
like good competition between friends and
right.
stuff.
And it's just wrong. So my stance is against it.
Okay. Question 4. Question reiterated. What is your stance on individuals that have had to bend the rules, seen or otherwise implied, to achieve a goal or prove a general point?
So it's like my stance on people who, would, break certain rules or just do certain things they probably shouldn't have done just so they could prove a point or just so they could be right.
In a sense, yes. Like, for instance, like giving a baby its bottle even though the baby is wrong. If that metaphor makes sense.
Even though the baby's what?
Wrong.
Oh.
No, I mean I'm talking about like a grown.
Make sure you grab this thing about the plug.
All right.
There's 5 minutes to chew.
But for instance, think back to a couple of the clan battles that we used to have back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, clan leaders would argue on either game facts or to the one who was running the board. Because back then it was either Danikey or Strax, then Mad Dog, then A7, and now me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a couple of examples. I mean, a clear example I could probably give you off the turn here is like a clan leader that was awarded the whole thing even though he was wrong. Think back to, I guess DMG would be one.
EL and DMG.
That would be one. Because of a whole thing that a misconception about things that happen IRL, but said team took IRL precedence slightly And so they just basically gave it to them rather than trying to actually play for it, because IRL was a lot more important, and that was where said other team leader and team kept the focus on rather than focusing on the video game.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Another instance, I guess, would be CEG and T.A.C.T.
What happened then?
And CEG and ACW, during ACW's second revival.
I was about to say, a lot of CEG was ACW.
Intriguingly enough, I mean, hell, just about anybody in this community was ACW once upon a time.
Yeah.
Because it was a part of the NECA gen long enough.
But it never worked.
Oh, okay.
Well, like, I made the account, I think it was called ACW Hazard, but it just didn't work. Like, I think I got on once, and I was just like, nah. That was a good name, though. But I, like, kind of did the, Masters of Destruction thing where they would do, like, uppercase, lowercase, uppercase, junk.
Oh, like MOD style?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I only did it with, like, the hazard part.
Let me think. I guess, well, with the ACW and CEG, how that clan battle happened was because of a series of miscommunications that had happened on ACW side. After this was the second hand leadership. So this was Apex, Wheats, and Marvin's leadership this time around. It was Trinity. Because I had studied that part of it before when it had the rise and the fall, because it happened so suddenly. And
that was my other friend. When we were talking about chemistry and everything, I was talking about Sideswipe Gunner.
Oh,
I forgot about the Weeds, because he was similar to Sideswipe, but not, perfectly like him. Yeah, we had great chemistry too, and that's why I left PS3 with like the thing on the PSN that says "Weeds my bro." I left that there.
Yep. Because every now and again, when I go on Crunchyroll on some of my other accounts, I see that pop up.
Yeah, I probably should just change it or take it off. I mean, it's been there for like I don't know how many months.
Oh, you can keep it there. Weeds is still around.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'll probably just end up taking it off and put something there like maybe gonna come back in 2020.
Impossible.
Yeah, if they don't take down the servers before then.
We'll see. Anything's possible. Right now, we're just going this day by day and enjoying each day as we go.
Yeah, definitely for you guys. Me, I wish I still played, and I honestly should controller. Just have to wait until I get my next paycheck. This one, I'm worried about getting the right dress stuff.
That's all right. The focus right now for you financially is just whatever it is you do on IRL.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
There's if you need updates on anything that's going on in the community, you always know where to find me between PS3 and PS4 and any of that stuff. The main contacts are all still out there. MP's around. He still keeps somewhat in the loop, I imagine, between Discord and some of the chats that he's in. Aswin still keeps up to date every now and again. He's not able to play as much as he used to, and so whenever he's online, he's mainly just on Fortnite a lot of the time.
Fortnite.
He's got a huge Fortnite team that happens over there. I'm in it. Me, Fame, Julian, Pro Skills for the win, Venom. Oh, well, there's a long story behind that. The Leopold, myself, Torres, and one of his friends in real life. The PSN tag is the Iron Lord.
I remember in the beginning, me and the Fame or whatever. I think that's his name. It was X. I don't know.
X the Fame. Oh yeah, but I know who you're talking about. Fame, Zephyr, the one and only Zephyr.
He was such a weird character. I think he's like 15 now or something. I don't know how old he is, but I remember in the beginning, he's honestly like honest to God, he's a good gamer. Like he nailed and dominated on Fall of Cybertron, but he only irritated me when he would say he was better than me or better than everyone. And I mean, honestly, anybody saying that to you is gonna irritate you, saying that they're better than you, because you don't want to believe that. You don't want to, have other people believe that either. But I didn't care. It just irritated me when he would keep saying it and just repeat it. And honestly, he wasn't better than me. We were about the same. I believe it. I believe we were just about the same. And I mean, give him 2 more years and keep me at the same age when we were still in the game, he probably would have been better than me. But, he's a different generation.
It's with him. It's about his mindset.
He has a weird mindset.
Not to put it down, but I do have to be blunt about it. I feel it's more towards an elitist mindset.
Yeah, he definitely. He's definitely like, I want to say full of himself, but he's definitely a decent person. He's not a bad person at all. He's just full of himself.
He's still good people to talk to.
Yeah, definitely. He's not a bad person to talk to at all. Before he was just irritating as heck, and especially when you're on like the opposite side of someone, you're not friends with them, then you just feel like he's just like one of the most annoying people or like, just like some mosquito you really dislike. But I mean, if we were to talk now, I think it'd be fine. I mean, he's definitely not a bad person. It's just it depends on which side you are with him or whatever, or what side he's on with you.
Yeah. Because I remember in some past instances back when I first joined into the Yugels chat, I'd see some instances back and forth where it's like you guys are going almost verbally going at it, and that's why I'm not entirely sure whether or not it's serious or if you guys are joking. So I never really say anything.
Yeah, I mean, I understand you just try to keep out of it because I mean it's not really that big of a deal. I mean, honestly, it's just a game, but people would take it too seriously and go at it at each other's throats, and it was just ridiculous. And you would only jump in when you knew it was just getting too far, or it was just becoming enough.
Yeah. Let me see. Back to the examples for the question.
Yeah.
Let's see. I gave the ELDMG example. Another example I would say would be the ACW and the CEG, because that was technically ACW. It technically ended at a draw. If I was the one that was the judge for that clan battle, I honestly would have said it would have ended at a draw, but instead CEG took the victory by taking advantage of the miscommunications that had happened in ACW side, which ultimately did lead to its disbanding at the same time on the same day.
Wow. ACW disbanded the same day that they lost the clan battle?
Yeah.
That's like a football team quitting after they lose a game. It's just, that's awful. Which, honestly, that's actually relatable to a team we were supposed to go against in real life. Yeah, for our homecoming, we were, in real life, we were supposed to go against this team called Cedar Ridge, but their, like, entire senior high quit, and they only had 14 players left, so they ended up forfeiting their season.
Damn, they forfeited the whole season?
Yeah, and it wasn't just them, it was another team too, but I don't know why they forfeited their season either. It's strange, but it gave us like an automatic 2 wins, so not that big of a deal, but I thought it was kind of a big deal. Like it doesn't make sense to quit the team just because crap's going on. They quit apparently because it was something to do with the seniors, like drama between their coach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so I guess rather than dealing with the drama when you always seeing that same person on the team, you just quit the team.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. You should try to like put it behind you and get over it, but instead act like the grade below you or the grade even below that. And you just quit. And you're like, oh, I'm done.
Well, it depends on what type of drama it was, I guess.
Yeah, I wish I knew like every single aspect, but that's all I've heard.
I got you. Let's see. ELDMG, CEG, ACW, right? And then the CEG and TAC debacle. Number 1 was theirs. Number 2 was ours. Number 3, yeah, that was the tricky one, because that one there, it ended on it was our win and CEG's win for that match in chapter 3 when we fought CEG last. That one was a very laggy intro into capture the flag. It was 0 to 5 captures. Everybody in the match complained that it was excessively laggy. We agreed to the redo. We agreed to the redo of capture the flag. This was both consented by both clan leaders. It was by myself and the other one that was A7. We continued down the line in order to continue the rest of the clan battles. Conquest was won by T.A.C.T, and Team Deathmatch was won by CEG. And then now, once we get to the end of this and then set up the redo capture the flag, now suddenly we don't do this because CEG clan leader wants to take the win without acknowledging the fact that both clans agreed to the consent of the redo. Thus, the opening starter that was supposedly your win does not count.
Wow.
In my eyes, you won both rounds, and so now you want to take it and run.
Completely ridiculous. That's just dumb. You gotta make the games fair. You can't just take it. You gotta earn it.
Right. And then another example I can give is also the EL and TACT debacle.
What happened with that?
Oh, what was that? That was the, I think that was the second time we fought EL.
Was I there at the time?
Yes, you were. You, Austin, Aswin, and Oreos.
Yeah, Oreos.
Because that was Devil Dog.
I remember Oreo.
And then LM came in order to settle the hash brown that was to be the whole series of unique events that would happen that whole night. But that was a huge controversial clan battle that would happen. Because the whole community believes that it was T.A.C.T's win. I stuck by the rule outline on that one in order to follow the rules down to the letter excessively as I needed to. But because they all still believe that it was not correct, even though I let one of my dudes sit out, heck, I even sit out, we went on ahead and just did the redo anyway for Conquest. Then they won that one. It's at 1-1. Then Team Deathmatch. Team Deathmatch, that one barely counted because one of my guys lagged out right before, like either minutes before it ended, and then could not connect back in until right as it ended. And so they were saying that, okay, it doesn't count now, and so that didn't count. So we had to redo Team Deathmatch, and then right as Team Deathmatch was about to be match point on that host, everybody disconnected from either Aswin or Austin's host because of a huge lag spike that happened on their end. And I'm just
Gee.
like, can we just have this clan battle be done with already? I mean, you
Yeah, I know,
already,
right?
like, you already won. I want to just say, you guys already won, but you want this to be no, you want this to still count as it is. Like, I'm willing to just have it as a draw right there, and then we just redo that team deathmatch thing another time. That's a lot more accommodating for other people, because as the clan battle goes on, it's also going to be more susceptible for IRL to be bled into it.
Yeah.
Because at that time, it was like, what, 6, 7 o'clock in the afternoon. That was easily 2, 3 o'clock in the morning where Aswin is in the UK.
Oh, jeez.
It was late on my end for Flint where he was, and Moonwalker had something else that he had to get ready to go to. And so I'm running short on dudes here in order to try to finish up this damn thing. That's why I'm just saying, okay, look, I would preferably want to just try and continue this another time and we get this over with. But okay, they're saying no draw. They want to try and finish this now. So I'm just like, Jesus fuck. And so I got to try and pull something out of my ass in order to try and conclude this thing as it is.
Yeah.
And so, alright, that's why I just looked at people in the chat to see, okay, I'll try and see if I can find a sub. Asked Z-Dash, didn't hear anything from him. Asked Star Wars Boy, he couldn't do that because he was already associated with another group at the time, so he couldn't help out. And then Officer came online, and so I invited him, and then I just had that be so we can just go in here and finish this thing for good. And then there was a long synopsis I had to give about this clan battle in order to give about this assessment and judgment regarding how to deal with disconnections that happen during clan battles. It's not that they lead to shitty clan battles, but this also tests the leader's sense and judgment and how you want to handle this. Because do you, like, if you win or lose this match, do you want to do this by the book? Do you want to do this clean, or do you want to do this dirty?
Yeah. I mean, it definitely should be done. Well, in my opinion, it should be done by the book. You shouldn't just, like, I mean, if it goes bad and it's like your team's doing really great and everything, but your guy, your opponents, they can't connect, or they're just lagged out, or it's just too laggy, and then you win. It's not fair. They didn't have a fair chance. It's like fighting against a team and they all are one-legged while you have two-legged. It's not fair.
Right. And that's one
And
of
you
the things I
should
had to
take
try
advantage of that and just say, hey, I got the win fair and square.
Right. So it was just a really, really shitty night that night, honestly, because it was something where that nobody was honestly going to be happy about how a lot of that went, but it has to be seen to it has to be concluded at some point.
Yeah.
And so when I went to look back at the footage here, that's why I had to try and assess everything that what they're talking about here. The argument pitched by one of the EL guys about them being outnumbered the whole time, that's flawed, because when the match first started, 2 or 3 of my guys lagged out, and it was a 2 versus 5, and nobody said anything until my guys came back in minutes later, much, much later on. I put it in the chat that it was like that. I brought it up on the board during my recording that it was obviously a 2 and 3 versus 5. But then once the scores flipped and we managed to successfully turn the whole damn thing around, once everybody was able to come back in here during the same session, and now suddenly one of your guys can't log in completely, or never could log in completely. I think that was MP that couldn't successfully log in during that match. And then it becomes a 4 versus 4 or 5v4, probable 5v4. I can't remember exactly how that went, because I think Sazaks went off at that point, or during that match, before that match, however that is. But they were saying, okay, now they got halfway into this, okay, now they're outnumbered. And so I had one of my dudes sit out. I had Shock Prime sit out, and even to ensure it right at the last second, I myself sat out. That way they can keep going. That way you see me off to the side, I'm sitting out. And if he doesn't sit out, I'm sitting out. That way this stays fair. And then right when they made the comeback to catch the point, I wanted to make sure that they do not move. Stand exactly where you are, and it's game match point. And it's technically that was the end of the whole clan battle, but that's not how it was from their perspective.
That's wrong. It should have been, game match by both of y'all's perspective.
It's as is. It's history.
Yeah.
As powerful as EL is, and yes, it is a vastly dominating and formidable foe, I still think that T.A.C.T had a very good chance at matching them, even if they don't want to acknowledge that a clan of noobs can match a whole bunch of elite veterans. Yes, they can. That mindset of underestimation is exactly the driving force that is your doom. Because you're underestimating people that you haven't seen anything about them at all before.
Yeah.
But essentially, those examples are what I'm getting at about people that have had to bend the rules, seen or otherwise implied, to achieve a goal or prove a general point.
Yeah.
In those examples that directly referenced my clan, I, in a sense, do say that it was, in a sense, rule bending or implied rule bending, because it's a conflict of interest between how I see the rules, how other person sees the rules, and what the rules actually are.
Yeah.
And whether or not their point is proven in order to try to have their win rightfully or wrongfully gained for their group is assessed. If it involved my group or it involved my knowing, and I am needed to give an assessment on it, then I make my point known about it. That is supposed to be like a general point of totality that gives an unbiased view for the whole situation, or as unbiased as I'm able to make it. Because I don't try to take sides in an assessment. I try to hear each side out and give you the fair assessment overall. Or you can't even question what's between fact and fiction. Especially if half the time these things just happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the examples. What is your stance on them? Trying to think of other controversial clan battles or decisions I can give you, but outside the clan scene, there's not too many I can really think of at this time. And then WFC, that's a whole other community of politics I won't plague you with. Because WFC has had a heck of a lot of politics come and go during its time. So I won't delve into that. I know you don't really play or haven't really played WFC like that any at all, so I won't bother you on that one.
Thank you. I mean, I didn't really go against them much. I mean, they're old school, and anything I was part of was more new school, so we didn't really ever have a chance.
Okay, resume from question 4.
I believe my stance on that would be that I don't think you should really bend the rules to get what you want, especially when it's in your favor. I mean, if you're going to bend any rules, it should be for the both. Like, for the majority, like if it's between you and another person, I think it should be between both of you, not just for only you. That's not right. That's just wrong. I mean, if it's just going to be for you, then, I mean, no one looks at you as hey, he's like, a really good guy. He's doing it for the team. They're gonna look at you as selfish and just doing it for your own personal needs and everything. You shouldn't bend the rules just to get what you want. You shouldn't really bend the rules at all, to be honest. But if you are going to, at least do it for a greater good and not just yourself. So my stance is don't do it at all. But if I can't get you from not doing it, at least don't do it only for yourself.
Gotcha. Okay. It's a fair assessment. If you're gonna bend the rules, try to have it for a greater purpose. Otherwise, don't do it at all.
Exactly.
Okay. Question 5. Does leaderboards hold sentimentality for you? Jamaz?
What?
Oh, question 5. Does leaderboards hold sentimentality for you?
Yeah, they do. They hold some when, like I stated earlier, that like my accuracy when I made the new account, and it wasn't just with Jamimaz, it was with the T.U.H Spidey. Like at first, I was really good. I had 80% accuracy, and it would go down because I started playing it more often and everything. But it felt good to be above my friends list of people, and I had a bunch on my friends list. On my friends list, I don't now because obviously they went to PS4 or I've just been on YouTube and whatnot for too long. But it felt good to be above, at least in something, because I knew everybody else was trying to get above in other things. I remember, what was it? His name was Arg Harnag, but it wasn't pronounced that way.
Oh, Argonarg?
Yeah, that's how it's spelled, but it wasn't pronounced that way.
Yeah. Argonarg is Argon. Well, it comes out Argonera, but how it's said when you go to read it on paper or on the board, it comes out Argonarg. But how you say it supposedly is Argonera, and that's very different.
Yeah, it is. I just remember that Argonera, he was trying to bring up his score in escalation, and I didn't really care because I could care less for escalation, but he definitely was trying to get up there, and I was all for it. I wanted to help him if that would help him. I mean, whatever was his sentimental value, that was his, and if I could help him, I would. But mine was just mostly my accuracy, my kill to death ratio, and my wins to losses ratio. That was the only things on the leaderboards that held sentimental value, because I always wanted to have more wins than losses and more kills than deaths, and I wanted a lot of assists too, because assists would bring up your score in a game at least by one. Not all the assists would. I think it varied on a type of assist you had. If you severely wounded them, it would do the first two, and then the rest it wouldn't. But I don't know. I couldn't really understand the whole score system when it came to assists. Because you could have really put this down to 1% health, and then the other guy kills him, and you get an assist, and your score doesn't go up at all. It didn't make sense, and it won't make sense to me still. But that was the stuff that held sentimental value to me.
Oh, the assist ratio.
Huh?
Oh, the assist ratio.
Yeah, that I wanted that one above my death ratio as well. Like I'd rather assist people in killing to be higher than my total deaths in general.
Makes sense. You want the assist to be somewhere near your general kills, if and higher, definitely higher than your death ratio.
Yes, definitely.
Gotcha. Well, from what I can assess, point-wise for the for leaderboard gaining, since you get a point for every kill,
Yes.
you get a kill point for every 2 assists
Oh,
that I'm aware
okay.
of.
So it's like a point for every 2 assists you get.
Yeah, because you notice in some point accumulations, there's always 60-point assists, or 120 assists, or 200 assists. Like if you get them really low, like where you're about to one shot them that next hit, but somebody else takes it, then you get 200. If you get them half health, I want to say, if you get them around half health without their shield up, then that should get you around 120,
Yeah.
because you got the shield down and you got them at half health, but you didn't get them to within an inch of their life. And
Hmm.
then if you take down the shield and just clip them for a little bit of HP, then if somebody else takes the thing after that, then you should get possible 60 to 120 assists out of that.
Yeah.
That's what I've been able to gather out of that one. Now, from those particular gatherings, those assists do stack up after a while, but only when they reach up to the total of about 400, which is the total of one kill, which is 400 points. Then that's when they give you the kill point, because you have
Yeah.
enough assist points that now accumulate to the one margin of a kill point. If that makes sense on the assist ratio and kill ratio.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry if it's a big headache there. It took a while for me to understand the mathematics in that also. Because I keep wondering why it is that a whole lot of people keep gobbling up my kill and I keep getting assists, but I'm still somehow somewhere in second, third place. Because in some way, those assists also count as kills. So if you got like 7 kills and you got 8 assists, in another sense, that's almost a good 14, 15-ish kills. If the point accumulation also mirrors that, because the point accumulation in a sense will mirror how many points you'll have in full if they were also seen as kills. Sometimes, not all the time,
Yeah.
because there are all those times where you have those disconnections or host migrations that may happen that also ironically wipe your points clean, but you still have your kills, assists, and your deaths. And so the points reset almost, but they don't completely reset.
Yeah.
Well, fair enough. So I guess in a sense, for you, leaderboard sentimentality was like you want to still keeping the mindset of helping your teammates, stacking kills. I guess being that one that gets the attention seeker. That way they come right to you, and then you work together with your team in order to take them out. Did you mind stacking assists, or were others mainly stacking assists?
I didn't mind stacking assists. Like it was I'd rather stack assists more than stack deaths. That was just my big issue. I hated gaining deaths in general. It didn't matter if it was one game or two a game. I hated it absolutely, and I wanted to have more either assists or kills. Definitely kills more than my deaths.
Okay. That's pretty straightforward. Were you able to get Were you able to get high enough on some of the leaderboard standings?
Um, I'd say the only thing would probably be accuracy, and even then, it wasn't like the highest. It was just higher than my friend list.
Still say that's pretty high. I remember in one of my friends' lists when I saw it. I think you're somewhere still around top 200, top 300 somewhere, if not higher up than that.
Can you repeat that?
I said I'm pretty sure for one of your accounts that I had added, that your accuracy thing was somewhere easily in top 200 or so on one of my friends lists.
Oh, really?
And then for Team Deathmatch on my original account, when I sign in on it every now and again just to see what the score standings are, I know I'm way past the top 500. I know I recently came across your old account, or I'm within range of it. The Jamaz64 account.
Oh. Huh.
So yours things are still up there, somewhere in the top 400s.
Probably because it's had some time to settle and it hasn't been altered at all.
No, but it's way the hell up there, so that's definitely not something that can easily be topped.
Well, that definitely, that makes me happy that I'm, still up there in a high spot.
Then question 6. Question 6. Have you had the chance to play for a clan or gaming group of friends?
Yes, I have. And I've played for T.F.L, the Fallen Legends, T.U.H, second in command of T.U.H, and first in command was MP60, the Unknown Hope, but the Unknown Hope goes on for a little bit longer when, stuff started getting a little complicated. I guess for a day, ACW, I was gonna be in Masters of Destruction, but I could never find the time to meet MOD Destroyer, and he was the leader and everything. In fact, he even, I think even he had a YouTube, but I could never find the time to meet him, and it sucked because he wanted to see how good I was and everything, and it didn't work out, so I didn't end up getting on. Elite Legends, EL, and I believe, and DEW, which was mine, and it was decent for a while.
Do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That means you know Noah Search and...
Yeah, Noah Sarge, I think it's...
Yeah, Noah Sarge 30.
And Nick Sadie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys are in the Discord chat.
And I think Ripper Adam or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, Ripper Adam?
Yeah, Ripper Adam, yeah.
Yep. T.U.H. Phantom.
Huh?
T.A.C.T. Phantom.
Yeah. And, the Mad Killer dude and other people and everything. J Branch, Kate, she played some for a little bit, and then they made their own clan. The Mad Killer dude, her, and I forget who else. I want to say it was Strika. I feel like she joined their little thing. What was it? I think it started with a V.
I don't know. I have yet to know about it. I just barely knew about Clan Doom before I had the match with Noah.
All I know is that they made a little clan together. I wasn't a part of it at all. I just knew about it, and I think the Mad Killer dude, he was in charge and everything, and he knew he didn't want to go up against T.U.H or anything. So I was like, all right, we won't, we'll just leave you alone.
Wait, was it like a small kind of fun group like Cybertronian Commandos?
Yeah, it was just a small group.
Okay.
I want to say it was Vengeance or something like that. I don't know. It was just. I know it was a V word and it was a long word.
Okay. And then with all the
I believe that's all the clans I've been. Oh, well, can't forget about T.A.C.T. Last but not least,
oh yeah,
can't forget about that.
oh, for
And I
sure.
believe that's it. I believe that's all I've been in, to be honest. I mean, I can't really think of anything else.
Okay.
Oh, well, actually, no, there was another one. I forgot who was in charge, but he made a clan called Autobot, and it was like all
Oh,
capital letters.
was this
Huh?
Batimus?
Who?
Batimus?
Maybe.
Autobot resident.
Yeah.
Okay. I ran into the guy on D. The guy found me on in a match on Destiny 2, and we got to talking about it because he was just like, "Wait, do I know you from the TF community?" It's like, you might. I don't know you, but I know of that tag because Alpha
Huh.
Wolf Girl told me about that years ago when I was playing Destiny with her.
I just remember that my tag was Autobot Midas, Midas.
Oh, like the
And
Hand of Midas.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think that's all the clans I've been with, and I'd say the only ones that were like even worth being a part of was T.F.L, T.U.H, mostly T.U.H because I wasn't in T.F.L as long. I was in there for a bit, and then MP wanted to make he wanted to make T.U.H, and we both did that together. So I was in T.U.H a whole lot longer, and then it came to be like what was it? Like it was the Unknown Hope, but then MP he had like real life issues, so I changed it from the Unknown Hope to the United Havoc, which I preferred after I did that. Because one reason why I changed it was because Unknown Unk or whatever that brand, not brand, that clan came out of nowhere, and I didn't want like any what is it, the word
Oh,
affiliation? Yeah.
Vozian's group. Yeah, and you
Huh?
didn't want Vozian's group. You didn't want to have this new group affiliated with that group by a similar name.
Yeah, I didn't want to like have anyone get the wrong idea, like, oh, the Unknown Hope probably, is together with, Unk or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I don't want anyone thinking that. So I changed it to United Havoc.
It's a
And
nice change.
the only people that really stayed, I want to say, was me, Nick City, and I forget who. I just remember Nick City because he was always with me, especially in DEW. He was just very loyal, and that's why I remember him the most because he was always loyal when it came to certain clans that I was in. But I couldn't really remember anyone else.
Okay.
The only clans that I felt like were even worth being a part of was T.A.C.T, T.U.H, sort of E.L. I mean, it felt kind of short lived, but I did feel like I was a part of it. I don't even remember what the hell my account was. I think it was like at that weird middle place where everyone didn't have one. Like that, not everyone had a EL alternate account because some people didn't want to take the time and they were too lazy to level up. And I was too because I've made so many accounts before, so I didn't really want to have it. And it was between the time of where it was okay not to have one and where it was starting to become everybody needed one. And I remember, like, I ended up not playing Little Big Planet as much. I mean, not Little Big Planet, Fallout Cybertron as much. And I ended up, I think I did make the account, and I only played it like a couple times, but I just stopped after a while, and then, never got on Fallout Cybertron for a good amount of time.
Okay. And to extend the question, since you have been in the opportunity to play for a lot of groups and be in a lot of gaming group of friends and circles, how has the clan scene or the combat scene evolved your perspective on being in the community?
It evolved my perspective by seeing, like, for example, talking about it earlier, I wanted the community to be better, so I was kind and I helped people out so they would help me out. And I felt like that's what clans were like, because everybody had a certain, way of doing things. Like, when in T.U.H, Strika, she was our go-to scientist and everything. She was great at healing. She would die so many times just to make sure you were still healed. Everybody had their own roles and they would do them perfectly, and it just, everything smooth, was just smooth. And it kind of felt like me, having friends and everything outside of a clan before clans, even came to my mind. It felt like that. And it felt better because when I was in those clans, the majority of the clan was, well, the majority to everybody in the clan was my friend, so it was even better. And you knew if this certain thing worked out between you and someone, that would work to your advantage, and you could make your clan win a certain game or like a certain match in these certain amount of matches to win like a clan battle. And it would help because you're participating, and not just participating, you're doing your job. Your friend's helping you do your job. You're helping him do his job. And it works. And it makes you feel happy. And just my overall perspective, I believe clans help. Like, you definitely, clans are kind of like, joining a athletic team. Like, it brings you out of your comfort zone, and you get to be more social, and you get to talk a lot more and be more involved with other people, and it helps you out, especially if you're someone who's not like out there. They're not like an extrovert, they're more of an introvert. It helps them out. And I remember when I used to be an introvert, and then in 9th grade I went to football, and now I'm a big extrovert now. And there will never be one day where I regret ever joining football. Football has helped me out, and I feel like it's the same way with clans. Like, I'm glad I got to be a part of clans. I got to be in them with people I liked and people I had good chemistry with. Everything flowed so smoothly, and it was so fun. It didn't even feel like a clan sometimes. It's like doing something you love as a job. It doesn't feel like your job. It just feels like you're getting paid to do what you love. That's how being in a clan, to me, felt like sometimes. You're just having fun, but it also benefits this thing you're a part of,
Gotcha. Like a bigger picture.
Yeah. Like, you feel like you're a part of something bigger, and you're just having fun doing it. It doesn't feel like you're supposed to do it. You just feel like, hey, this is what I'm doing. They know this is what I'm supposed to do, but I don't feel like I'm expected of it. I just do it, and they're happy.
Okay. So, in a sense, being in the clan scene evolved your perspective in being more productive and more proactive
Yeah,
and trying to find comfort outside of your general expanding your comfort zone, basically.
yeah,
Okay. Because I know there's most people and a lot of different experiences that I've seen with a lot of newer faces that come into the community or that have come in. If I have the opportunity of being their clan leader, I notice every now and again that some of them either do go into a shell and they don't interact with people, or there are some that do come out of a shell and do slowly interact with people, and very slowly I see a different side of them that I haven't seen before when they first came in.
yeah. It's truly amazing when you see something like that happen, you know?
Yeah, it's like the right clan can make a really good social space for people.
Yeah. Brings people out and, you know, makes them more social. It's kind of like seeing your own kid grow up.
Yeah, yeah, honestly, it's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah,
Because a lot comes full circle when you think about all the stuff when like you're first bringing them in and you're either training with them or you're training alongside them, showing them the ropes and all this stuff here, and then after a while, it's almost like looking in a reflection.
exactly. And, you know, every time, obviously everybody's different and sometimes, and there will be that one person where you feel like it's a reflection, but, you know, there's always that one person where it's not, or probably even more than that where it is or not. But even then, they're out of their comfort zone. They're socializing, they're getting more active and, you know, figuring out what to do better in the situation or how this situation can be prevented in the next clan battle. It really like warms your heart. It makes you happy that your players are actually doing this when in the beginning you're like, crap, what am I going to do? I know how to, you know, start a clan. I just need to know how to maintain one.
Gotcha. Because a good balance is a good leader, and the other side of that balance is also trying good clannies or good clan members that can help sustain it in different ways.
Yep.
Because only the clan leader can be a face of the group, but the clan members itself are what compose the whole structure of it.
Yeah.
And it gives them their identity.
Yeah, it does give them their identity. They have more of a personality when they get out of that comfort zone.
Mm-hmm. Question 7. What's more important to your perspective on enjoying the adventure offered in the gameplay? Friendship or power itself?
That's a tough question, especially for people who lean to one side more than I would. Because for me, I'm like stuck in the middle, but I lean towards more friendship because one, you could definitely find a friend, but at the same time, they're pretty powerful and everything. But you can also meet someone pretty powerful and become friends with them as well. So it's like not really endless possibilities, but there are possibilities and everything. But if I had to choose one side, it definitely would be friendship because friendship is more valuable than just power. Because when you have friendship, you have someone who can help you out with certain situations, and that alone brings power from you and them, and that's like a power altogether. But if you're just going straight for power, you're alone. You're doing this all alone, and yeah, it's fine to be independent, but at the same time, you know, strength in numbers is better than just being strong by yourself.
Yeah, I mean, as good as you may be by yourself, teamwork can also help to fuel that.
Exactly.
So in a sense, I mean, friendship can be a power, and in addition, rather than just power itself. Granted, a dude can be pretty good by himself. You go both sides of the fence, or one way or the other?
I lean towards more friendship.
Okay. Okay. You'd be very surprised how easily that's gone both sides of the fence.
Really?
Yeah, there have been some people that do say friendship. There's been some people that also do say for power. And there's also some people that believe that if you have one, you arrive at the other one.
Yeah, I believe that, but I don't believe you can achieve the other one without friendship. So I lean towards more just friendship in general. I'm not really in the middle because, I mean, power only becomes a thing once you have friendship. And, well, I mean, that's just my opinion. But you can also gain power yourself as well, just not as much if you were with someone else.
Okay, I hear that. And question 8, and this is the final question. What is your advice to the newer generation of players seeking a great online adventure to be had?
My advice is don't, like, if there are people that are mean to you, take it with a grain of salt. Like, don't let them get to you, because honestly, it won't matter later on in life. Just enjoy the game, have fun, do whatever you're gonna do. Like, join a clan if you want to, do your job if you're gonna join the clan. You don't just join it just because you want to be a part of something. If you want to be a part of something, you gotta at least do something as well, instead of just laying there like a lump on a log. You gotta, if you're gonna be a part of something, you gotta prove your worth. And yeah, just don't let people get to you. Be yourself. Don't try to be anybody else, because that everybody else is already taken. But who the heck is gonna be you? No one else is gonna be you. You got to be yourself, and that's how it should be. But a lot of people wanted to, be like Aswin or whatever heck. A lot of people wanted to be just like the best players in FOC. They always compare themselves to each other, and I'll admit I've done that many times before. I've compared myself to another player and everything, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like them, or yeah, I want to be like them. But I've never said it out loud. I just always thought it, like, hey, I wish I could do this or whatever.
Okay. So what's the core of your advice?
What's the core of my advice?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I caught that in full.
Oh, just enjoy the game the best you can, but don't take anything negative. So, what's the word? Don't take anything negative. So,
don't take it to heart.
Yeah, don't take it to heart. Don't have your heart on your sleeve. Just take it with a grain of salt. Whatever it is, leave it as it is. Don't, repeat it in your head like a broken record and just sit on it, because it's just one person's opinion. It's not like you're being judged by God,
Okay, I think that's a pretty good message in order to send to the new gen. Alright, and on that notion, that does generally conclude our podcast panel segment. Is there anything else that you want to try and say or want to pop in here before we have a send-off?
enjoy the game while you still can. You never know what's going to happen, if the server's going to end or not. Just enjoy life, enjoy the game, enjoy new games, enjoy the old games, enjoy everything while you still can, and make the most of it. Don't just make it something small. Do whatever you can to make the most of it.
I like that. I like that a lot. Make the most of it while you got it. Because the memories are all you.
Indeed.
Okay. Well, viewers, you heard it firsthand. From Jamaz to you. On that notion, I do believe that will wrap up our podcast segment. You all have a blessed one ahead out there. And as always, till all are one.